Hi everybody, welcome to Sunny Preps. I'm Sunny and today I'm going to show you my latest project. It's pretty easy, but I do know how to use some power tools, so if you've never used power tools it might be a little more advanced, but for anybody that knows how to use a saw and a drill, this is simple. It's finding storage, secret storage. Probably nobody would ever find it. Can you see it? It doesn't have to be secret. It could just be extra storage in a space, in a small space. And this doesn't get in the way, it doesn't show, it's hidden, it doesn't look messy, it's perfect. And it'll fit lots of number 10 cans, canning jars, or toilet paper. That's the one that always takes up so much room. The lighting in here isn't very good, but this is my latest project. Can you see the storage? I didn't make the bed. That's a whole nother story, and it's later in the video. There is a lot of room to store under the bed, but that's not my secret storage. And yesterday was Thanksgiving, so that means it's Black Friday, and I'm going shopping. Okay, not that kind of shopping. I try to stay away from Black Friday. However, I dropped my son off at the airport so he could go out of town for a little while, and his truck is in my driveway, so I'm going to use it. I do have permission. And I'm headed to Lowe's. Part of the idea behind Sunny Preps is you make hay while the sun shines, which means you use what you have now to get ready for the future. So while I have a truck, I'm going to use it. I have a project that I want to do with a bed that I have recently inherited, and I will be showing you that. I want to create some storage under the bed, so I need wood for that. I want full sheets of plywood so I can carry them in the truck, and I'm going to get them today. Wish me luck at Lowe's on Black Friday. I don't think Lowe's is too bad on Black Friday. It's not Walmart. It's not the mall. The closest I'm getting to the mall is driving on the interstate past it to go to work in a couple of hours. Well, I got the wood. Maybe you can see it back there. I ended up with 3 sheets of plywood and 6 boards. And I'm anxious to do that. Anxious to do that project. But it'll probably be a minute. But I got the boards while I could, while I had the truck. So, and a special thank you to the nice young man who helped me load the plywood into the truck after he saw me struggling so badly with the first sheet. It was comical. Should have had that on tape. This bed was made by my great-great-grandfather. It is going into our spare bedroom, and you can see I've just shoved other stuff out of the way. But it's got a good base for box spring and mattress. But a box spring, in my opinion, is just a waste of space. And the memory foam mattresses are so much less expensive. What I'm going to do is build a platform under here with liftable lid for storage. Well, here's the workshop. And actually, it's great that I got this done because it forced me to clean out the garage. I know it doesn't look like it's cleaned out, but once this project is done, this will be considered clean. So here is my start. I've got the 3 boards that are going to be on the side, well, 2 on the side of the bed and 1 in the middle for extra support down the middle. 2 that will be on the ends, and then these are going to go in the corners to help join the pieces of wood together. These 2 pieces of plywood are actually going to be, both of them are going to get used. It's a little too narrow to just cut one in half and have it hinge on each half. I need about 6 more inches, I think, in the middle. So I'm just taking a break from listening to North Star Prepsteaders live to catch you guys up on my project. So far, we've just got the base of the storage area, and that's just a regular sheet of plywood, full width, and cut to length. I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about this bed. The family calls it the rope bed because originally it had a net of ropes. There was a rope tied to through each one of these holes, knotted on the other side so it stayed in place. And it stretched down here to this side. Roman wants to help. And went through that hole. And then there were sides. Now these sides have been lost to history when it was updated to hold a rail for box springs. So I don't know where those sides went, but originally it had sides that then had the holes like this too. And there was a crisscross network of ropes. And you just put a feather tick on top of it, or a feather mattress, or in the case probably in my family, it wasn't made of feathers. It was a straw tick or a straw mattress. And when the ropes started to, sag, then you pulled them and tightened them up so that you wouldn't sink in the middle as badly. And according to my aunt, that is where the expression sleep tight came from. You tighten the ropes underneath of the feather tick, and so that you had a nice firm surface to sleep on instead of being like in a hammock. Okay, here we go with the first two sides are in place. I added the 2x2s using the corner for stability, and there'll be one down the middle for a good support in the middle, and then one on the other side. When I get the box all done, I'm going to flip it over and then screw the plywood onto the box. Yesterday out in the garage when I was cutting these to length and putting those on, I cut the sides to length and I marked where the board was going to go, and I pre-drilled holes in this board, and so I just drilled through those holes into this piece of wood so that the screw doesn't split it when I put it in. Okay, well this is as far as I've gotten it, and I need to go to work this morning. So it's not attached to the plywood yet, but that'll be, actually I'll get a centerpiece in this way, and then I'm going to do a centerpiece this way. Well guys, I am trying to work on this bed around a 20-year-old moving in. So the room kind of looks like an explosion went off, and there's not a lot of room to move around, but I'm doing the best I can. And this is going to create storage partially for her stuff. Okay, I'm ready to put the middle piece in, but the problem is that the plywood is sagging in the middle. And so it doesn't line up where it should up here. So I think before the frame gets any heavier and before I add anything else to it, I'm going to go ahead and screw the plywood onto the frame. Hopefully I can make that happen in the space that I have and by myself. Tablecloth out from under the dishes. I'm going to have to admit that I don't actually measure this closely. I always measure this carefully, but this is a perfect fit so far. don't want to jinx it. It's a little bit uneven where I cut it. I can deal with that. Absolutely. This drill bit is really dull, so it gets really hot. It's actually pretty new because I bought it to work on the rental house, but I was drilling through plaster and masonite. That's not good for your drill bits. Okay, I had some help getting it turned over, so I'm ready to start. I've got the center cross brace in place, and I'm getting ready to measure for the other center cross brace. Okay, so this tells me exactly where the center is, where it needs to be, and this tells me it needs to come up to here, so that's a little off, but it'll give me the height. Back out in the garage for this step. It is so much colder than it was 2 days ago when I started this project. Bah, it's freezing out here. I think it's 21 degrees according to my phone. So I'm not going to film this because I left my tripod inside, but real quick, I just extend the lines. I know where I want this. I'm going to extend the lines with this really beat up old square. I think it belonged to my grandfather. And extend both of these lines and then find out where this point is and drill a circle hole and then saw them out like I did the other piece. Okay, it took one minor adjustment, but it's a perfect fit. So I will just screw these together right here and that'll be done. And we'll get the top on. Back is not used to this. Good. It's good. It's good. About a year ago, I was having trouble walking because I was still recovering from a hip replacement. So a little bit of sore back when I'm able to do this. I'm good. This one already has holes drilled, pre-drilled for the hinge. Just pilot holes to get the screw started. put something on the edges to protect the real bed, the beautiful bed, from this plywood bouncing into it. You know, people just jump on the bed. It's not as pretty as great-great-granddaddy's bed, but it will be very functional. How many number 10 cans could you fit in here? I'm actually going to be putting a lot of linens in that side at least. And I'm not sure what we're going to put in under here. And those memory foam mattresses are fairly light, so you should be able to, you know, stand here and lift half of it without any problem. Once we order the mattress, I'll show you that too. It should fold completely over for easy filling. All right, so here it is all finished and made up. You can see that the actual storage part is even hidden by a dust ruffle. And so I pick that up and then you just pick it up. Now I think I am going to add a bar to put in place so that you can get under and look yourself. It's, you know, a child might not be able to lift that up, but you know, an adult can, and then you can prop it up so you can lift yourself and don't need two people. But I don't think, not in a really quick search of a place, people wouldn't find that. But also there is a lot of storage under there. I used 12-inch wide boards. Now that might have been a little overkill because it made the bed really high. But an added bonus for that is that all the men in my family are 6 foot or over. My dad, my brother, my son, they're all 6 foot or over. So this is in my spare bedroom. If they come now, their feet can hang off the top because this is just a full-size bed. So that's just an added bonus. You could use narrower boards and it would actually improve the price because the 1 foot or the 1 foot or 12-inch wide boards were considerably more expensive than the 8 or 10-inch boards. And those would provide plenty of storage under a platform like this. The platform that I built, the wood and the hinges, I already had the screws, but the wooden hinges added up to around $175 because I used 3 full sheets of plywood. I mean, I have leftovers, which is great. It's always good to have leftover plywood, but I used 3 sheets of plywood and I used those 12-inch boards. Smaller boards could save a lot on this. Well, thanks for coming along and letting me show you my latest project. This is my favorite thing to do around the house, or what will be my homestead in the future, is building projects. I like it because they last a long time. They really serve a need and serve a purpose. It lets my creativity out, lets my ingenuity out, and it doesn't just disappear. Like, I don't like to cook because it's just gone the next day. You have to do it all over again. When you build stuff, it should last for a good long time. Thanks for coming along and letting me show you my project. What kind of projects do you have that you're working on for storage, or that you need for storage, or that you've recently accomplished? Share your stories with us in the comments below. I know Alaska Prepper found room for number 10 cans between the joists under the floor of his house in what would be considered a basement or a crawl space area. That was genius. So what other storage ideas do you guys have? Can you share with us, and maybe share projects that you have done yourself? That'd be fantastic. Don't forget, whether you are looking for secret storage for preps, secret storage for all your goodies that you just don't want anybody else to bother, or just room for your everyday stuff. Keep smiling, because a rainy day is no match for a sunny disposition. I will catch you on the next one. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. Bye, guys.